Welcome everyone to this week's Herp Monday. Today we are on Herp Monday number 11, and I hope you had a wonderful Christmas holidays, and I definitely hope you are not that terrified of creepy crawlies, because quite honestly, this thing today is basically just God laughing at our faces. Today we are talking about the spider-tailed horned viper. The spider-tailed horned viper. Spider-tailed horned viper. Scientific name Pseudocerastus uracanoides. Super interesting snake. It's part of the Viperidae family, which is the viper. As you can kind of tell, it is endemic to western Iran, and the scales over its eyes, it's really difficult to see in this picture, but you can kind of see in this picture the scales over its eyes kind of give it a horned appearance, and that's where it gets its horned viper from. As you can tell from the pictures, it has extremely rough looking scales, and that's to actually help them blend in with these limestone outcroppings that they are endemic to, or not necessarily limestone, but these rock outcroppings really breaks up their pattern. As you can tell, they have both dark and light brown scales that are also for camouflaging. These things are very difficult to see, but these aren't a very big snake. Actually, they're very tiny. Well, I wouldn't say tiny, but they're not. They're more of your medium-sized snake. Not too big, not too small, just right. But the crazy thing about it, and you can see here, but the tail, the tip of the tail. So these little hair-looking things are actually elongated, flexible scales, and they use this to look like a spider, actually. And you can kind of see, if you kind of squint your eyes, you can imagine that being a spider. Here's another picture of the three of them. You can kind of tell it's got this fleshy part, and that is flesh. It's not just, hard piece. Like, that is actually fleshy, so super interesting. The tip is, this inflated tip. It's used for luring birds, actually. That's what these things eat. And it was first sort of found in an expedition in 1968. Researchers from Iran gave a specimen to the museum in Chicago. And researchers first thought that it was a sulfugid, which is a type of spider that was stuck to the tail of the snake. And then they were like, well, it's not a spider. Well, maybe it's just a genetic defect or a tumor. But then a second specimen was brought in 2003 that showed that was actually what it was supposed to look like. And then it was actually described. So this species, technically, it was originally described in 2006. So technically this species was not scientifically described until 2006. Now, this is a sit and wait predator, as many sort of vipers kind of do. They're not actively looking for it. But I have a couple of videos for you in here. I'm gonna mute everything real quick, just so that you can see kind of what they do. But here you go. This is a Twitter from BBC Earth. You can see how it moves its tail up and down, and with those fleshy sort of scales, it makes it, it actually does look like a spider. Very, very incredible way to do it. Here's another one that's also just showing, that's another BBC Earth. It's literally the same post. We have a little short video here that we can show you how it's doing. It plays. Oh no. Come on. Play for me. So you can see it's moving its tail. That bird comes back once again, and it's still moving its tail just out of habit. You can kind of see it in this one. This is a trailer for a little movie that this guy did, really trying to introduce people to the spider-tailed viper. But you can see its tail right here, and then you can watch it, and there's just a real short clip of a close-up of it moving back and forth. Just real short, but you can see it here as well. But super interesting way to lure their prey in. And it's not that uncommon for snakes to hunt this way, actually. Many snakes will actually use what's called caudal baiting, so moving their tail in a way that'll allow them to catch prey. And one example I can think of is the sand viper. The sand viper will actually bury itself in the sand to where only its eyes and nose is exposed. Then it'll stick its tail out, resembling a insect larva. When a lizard comes by and it sees that insect larva, it decides, oh, hey, I'm hungry, want to eat that. Then it goes for that, and then the snake up. Now, as you can see, these are very, the video shows that it was catching that bird. It turns out that these aren't actually that successful. There are some documented cases now of where the bird has actually gotten that fleshy tip and eaten it. So there's not a whole lot known about the snake. They don't know if they grow back. I'm going to assume it grows back. But it's also shown that the local birds don't even mess with this snake anymore. Those birds that it was catching are migratory birds that are migrating across the area. Seems like the local birds figured them out. But thank you guys so much again. I really hope you appreciate it. I hope to see you again. If I don't, please be safe out there. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If you do, I would really appreciate it. Please leave a comment. I hope you had a wonderful holidays. Take care of yourselves, take care of your loved ones, and